Hey friends, it is August 19th and I'm giving you a little update. Today I met with Dr.LeBlanc, who is going to be my surgeon. We had a great meeting today. She's totally on board. She, is thinking she's going to have to do a lot of skin removal. So my scar lines will be kind of like diagonal, which we already kind of knew. So just to make sure we get all of the skin that has been possibly compromised, but the MRI next Wednesday on the 28th will be, the determining factor. And so we're going to give that a shot. She's also going to do apparently quite a dissection of my axilla. She's thinking she's going to have to remove, as per standard of care, the first and second row of lymph nodes. So obviously I kind of gave my feelings toward that, and I really am just trying to sidestep lymphedema if I can. Not saying that, she could remove one or two and I can still get lymphedema, but obviously the chances go much higher the more lymph nodes you remove. So she can argue the same with me, like, well, it's, been everywhere in my body, so why remove any of the lymph nodes? But as far as the standard of care, I'm sure she's quoting the meeting they had about me, where they discussed my case and decided it is still worth it for me to try surgery. Otherwise, most people will not do surgery with a stage 4 cancer patient. So I'm still grateful that she is still willing to do it. So she knows where I am coming from there. And she's going to try to be as conservative as she can. I did remind her if she could try to test a little during the surgery, that would be excellent. But I'm not sure. She seemed to have not remembered that from the last time. She says it takes like at least 20 minutes and it's still not, perfect test, which I agree. But, obviously if she tests it and if they're negative, which the MRI should also show, then maybe she would not take the second row. So we'll just see. Ultimately, it's going to be her choice because I'm going to be under and not going to be able to give my feedback. And I do trust her medical opinion. So, we're going to roll with what we got. And if I'm faced with lymphedema, then I'm going to do PT. Also, I know a lot of stuff too that I'll throw in the mix and try to improve my odds of overcoming that. So the tentative surgical date, which is, I'm only saying tentative because it does depend on how the MRI comes back, will be September 11th. So it will be the week of the 10th, which I'm excited. The window I had figured out that was probably the least risk for side effects for me as far as bleeding would be, and this is based off of like the pull, the gravity of the moon, and essentially the draw on that, which there's some pretty great information out there on that. So it was between September 9th and the 13th. So the 11th is right in the middle, and it's great. And at first I was a little wary of the 11th because of September 11th, and I was like, not a lot of good stuff has happened then. But my father reminded me that the Battle of Plattsburgh was won, and September 11th was a huge day in the, forgotten War of 1812. So anyway, I think that's pretty exciting. So go Plattsburgh. So I guess September 11th will have to work just fine. She will be out of town the 12th, but she said she's going to be around, just not flying out, but she won't be in the office. So I will still be able to reach out to her if I have any side effects. She did say some people stay the night after surgery, but that I could probably go home, and that the recovery, is substantial, but maybe not as bad as like we were thinking. So I'll be limited. I will have like the draining ports and all of that, and I'll give you more information as we get closer on what I've learned about the surgery and the recovery. But for the axillary dissection and some of the extra stuff she's going to have to do, it's probably going to be a pretty solid 6 weeks before I can get back into the office and do any kind of heavy work like I do. So it's just good to know the time frame. So that's what we'll plan on, and ultimately I'm super excited. It was a really great visit. We were even able to smuggle our newborn child in there, which I asked the front desk if it'd be okay if I brought my baby in. And then I said she was a puppy, and they smiled. And I said she's hypoallergenic and super nice and quiet, and you won't even notice. And they said, she'll be under your care, so go for it. We don't mind. And so we brought her in like her little adorable bag, and she was awesome, and got into the appointment, and Dr. LeBlanc immediately was like, oh my God, do you have a puppy in that bag? And we're like, yes. And so she had to hold her. So the surgeon held our puppy for the majority of the appointment, which I thought was fantastic. She has two 2-year-olds that she adopted. So and there's her dogs. So she's definitely a dog person, which is cool. And I also wanted to introduce you to our child. Ready? This is Juneau. Hey, Juneau. Hey, baby. You're so sweet. So Juneau is a miniature schnauzer. Oh, thank you. And she is so sweet and so cute. And she's got this little white on her chest. And she's got the most adorable little white feet. Ah. Otherwise, she's a fairly black schnauzer. She's been great. We drove out Thursday last week to Little Rock. We got there for the night, and we had the first appointment, 9 a.m. on Friday, and the breeder was awesome. They did a lot of training beforehand. I mean, she's 8 weeks old, and she already knows to go to the bathroom outside, which has been really confusing for her because, you know, the immunity is kind of like shoddy right now with the mother's antibodies and the vaccinations, and they don't know which is actually active and what's working. So you can't really bring her to like public areas and just put her on the ground. It's just a little dangerous at this point. So she's getting her second vaccinations this Friday at the office. I'm having a vet come, and we'll just have to see how she recovers from that. And yeah, so I think it's about a week after the second vaccinations, it's safer. But there's really 3 rounds, and they spread them out so that it's like right when the mother's antibodies wear off, you know, the vaccination needs to kick in. So it's like a shoddy window. Every breed is different. Every puppy's different. Is it the little dead cat thing? That's funny. So yeah, we're trying to play it safe. She can be in our yard. All of our dogs are vaccinated, and we have control of our yard, but public places are a little tricky. So, you know, we put her in the back of the truck to go to the bathroom, and she's like looking at us like, no way, this is weird. I need to go in the grass. Why would I go to the bathroom here? So she's super smart. She's been wonderful. She's been just the sweetest little bundle of joy. So I'm really excited to be able to start a new family and have Juneau as our little baby. And I'm excited for her to grow old with us. And yeah. Hopefully we get some good sleep. She is an infant, so we have been up pretty good the last couple nights. And then, of course, the first 2 nights before we got her, we were really excited and didn't get good sleep either. So last night wasn't so bad. She only woke us up once, but the video the video talks about the puppies becoming like little land sharks, and they are, because they're adorable, but they also are teething, so they're trying to figure out their mouth. So last night she got into the nibbles and wanted to like nibble my ear, nibble our fingers, and, you know, chase us around in bed. And so when she finally settled down, she like laid on my neck and shoulder, and I was like, okay, that's good enough. I'm just gonna let her sleep here. She seems to like this spot, which is super great. But you know, it was a little bit of a rough night. So hopefully every night since gets a little better. She's been super easy to train. We're doing, you know, at least 3 times a day. We're doing short little training periods. So I'm excited for you guys all to meet Juneau. Yeah. And I'm excited for you guys to meet her in the office, because she's going to be the office pup. He's so sweet. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So thanks for stopping by today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Tomorrow is my echo and Herceptin. It's a fairly short round. My family was supposed to come in today, but they, of course, were delayed. So they're stuck in Philadelphia right now. So I think they'll get in around noon tomorrow, so we'll try to pick them up. And then I get to meet our sweet child, too. So hope you guys have a great week, and I'll keep you posted in the coming weeks. Bye-bye.